Hey, Nathan here, helping you become a better jungler. I have a review request today from a player over on the North American server. He's gold 3, this is a Trundle game of his. He goes 4, 8, and 9, it is a loss. Quickly, before I go into the rest of this review request, I'm holding a giveaway over on my Discord server. It's a one-on-one coaching session with myself to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube recently. So you can join by link below. I'll also have a link potentially in the video right now. Join that, react to the post. Great opportunity for you. I'll go over a bunch of VODs and we can really figure out what you need to work on, improve the most. Okay, so why did he want me to review this game specifically? He says he was able to get a pretty good lead, 3-0-2 in the early game, but proceeded to lose spectacularly. Any specific moments from the game, pretty much the whole game, but we started throwing it around 11 minutes. Alright, so before we go into win condition, I do want to talk about your runes. So you're going to press the attack, triumph, and alacrity. Okay, so you definitely need to go tenacity this game, and I will actually just jump into the win condition here as well, because looking at this specific team comp and you picking Trundle into it, these two champions are Trundle's nightmares, and you're actually versing a very heavy range like team. Trundle is not very good into these comps, especially, I mean, LeBlanc and Vlad. And I'm also saying that, and what prompted that was you're going alacrity here, and like attack speed is going to do nothing for you this game. You really need tenacity. I go tenacity all the time on Trundle. There's so many champs with slows and stuff like that. You need to get in melee range of people to start doing damage, right? So yeah, I mean, this is not the game to really be picking Trundle. I mean, I can see if you don't win the game by like 15 minutes or so, this is going to be very rough for you. So you do go last stand as well. I would actually go also coup de grace here. This game, you're versing many squishy champions. Last stand fights. So the way you take last stand over coup de grace, last stand is going to be, that's more for longer fights where you think fights are going to go for a while. This is very short fights. Coup de grace is going to do way better for you. You go Nimbus Cloak and Celerity. So Celerity is a pretty useless rune these days. Nimbus Cloak is going to be great for you to get on these range champions, especially I would be going Blue Smart this game because you do need to get on these champs melee range. I mean, you're already going to get kited super hard by these champs, but go Water Walk in. I need you to have River Control over Vi. Trundle's very good in terms of early game strength, especially with press the attack. So I definitely want you to go Water Walk in here. I mean, this is a pretty standard build that I want you to be going most Trundle games, except for Last Stand is good most of the time, but again, most of the time when you pick Trundle, you're not picking it into these type of comps where fights are short. Like, there's also no tanks as well in here to utilize your ultimate, like, you know, chewing up tank stats and stuff like that. So the other thing as well is also like, you're going to be forced to build Mercury treads this game if you go alacrity, and I actually really need you to build Ninja Tubs against the Vi and the double AD bot lane, and then you will be building like a lot of magic resist, like Spirit Visage, even potentially some support items like Knight's Vow, Zeke's for the Ezreal. So the way that I'm actually viewing Trundle as well now, I've actually been playing a bit of Trundle. I have a couple of games on my match history just to show you the build that I'm going. I feel like, and I actually looked at your build, you do go Tiamat this game. And I really feel like Trundle is much better going full tank, especially this game, because you especially got this game with Tiamat. Like, what is Tiamat? How is Tiamat going to help you in these fights? Sure, you're going to do more damage, and it sounds like maybe the early game goes well for you, but in terms of scaling up, like later stages of the game, Tiamat's going to do nothing for you. I'll be building full tank this game, and I think in general, Trundle is better built as a full tank. So that's just my opinion. If you have any questions around that and his build, let me know in the comments below. But from my experience in testing him recently in my ranked games, I feel like so much more stronger, tankier, more impactful as Trundle, but I still do good amounts of damage. So yeah, going back to the win condition here, I mean, I've obviously talked a lot about it already in terms of the pick Trundle into this comp. Yeah, we don't really have good carry champions, so I decided to prioritize bot lane. I think that's the idea. You could potentially gank Vlad early game, but that's really your only opportunity. Try and get your Gangplank ahead, leave him on an island, and he can impact fights through using his ult bot lane. But yeah, I mean, you have a Mordekaiser support's really interesting. He does have some sort of CC, but I think that win condition this game, it's very difficult. I mean, I think this is very few games I'd say that you've potentially lost in Champion Select. But, like, again, this is a very hard counter. I've had a lot of difficulty, lose games instantaneously no matter how well I do, because I verse LeBlanc or Vlad as Trundle. I like to ban these two champions sometimes when I'm playing Trundle. Especially Vlad. Vlad's the big one. I mean, LeBlanc is pretty rarely played, but, again, very, very annoying to... And that's, again, why you don't really want to pick in Trundle early. I don't know when you picked it in the draft here, but not ideal. But let's take a look at the game here, see what you could have done better. So I do like the ward here, switching out to Red Sweeper Trinket. Doing red. Okay, you actually are doing wolves here. See, this is the best level 3 path for Trundle is to do blue, Gromp, and then gank top if your intention is to gank top. I actually think that this might be actually push-in. He does have an extra minion here. Could be actually pretty good to gank this, but I mean, this is still fine. I mean, you're going to get more experience and gold from this. Okay, this is great. This is actually pushing. You should definitely gank after your Gromp. See, because right now you see that path, like, let's say if you wanted to gank right now, like, technically this is a great time to gank. He hasn't warded. You would know that by simply looking at the lane here, constantly switching your focus to it, seeing if he's going to walk into it or ward. This is not warded, and we'll just reconfirm it. He didn't ward early. That's the only time where you might get caught off guard is if he wards early and you don't see it, but most of the time top laners will save their ward for, you know, later. So yeah, definitely come gank this. Oh, you go mid, so you definitely missed an opportunity here. And again, this would have been great for you. Get this one gank on Vlad, get your your GP going. Then look to, you know, start ganking bot lane. I mean, in terms of ganking bot lane, Trundle's actually very good against these champs, because these champs can get really hurt by your pillar. Like, they don't have any abilities to sort of gap close or jump over your pillar. So this is actually pretty good to gank bot. And I do think bot is technically your best win condition, even though you're sort of forced to it, to be honest. Alright, LeBlanc's definitely not gankable right now. Oh, and Vlad actually kills GP there, so that's not ideal. Alright, bot is pushing. We can potentially gank this. Okay, I actually really like the patience from you here. You're waiting for them to commit onto a wave. This is really good, actually. I actually rarely see this in gold reviews that I do. Definitely really good decision making here. Wait for them to commit to the wave. You know there's no vision here. You don't need to rush this. This is really, really good gank fundamentals you've got going here. So you ping in. Mordekaiser walks in. You let him open up. Kill Jin. Senna walks forward. Vi actually shows up here as well. You're just going to eat these guys alive. See, this is where Trundle is just so strong. Alright, really good start. Early start. Okay, so this makes sense. So then you buy T-Mat off this. Your first base. Do Krugs, base. I love that you're doing Krugs as well. I talk about it all the time. Start getting levels on them. You must do Krugs at least before 5 minutes. Otherwise, you will start to fall behind in experience and gold. You're level 5 right now, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. This is excellent early game from you. But again, I think the problem here is building Tiamat. I just can't see it being useful at all against all these heavy range champs. You need to be this brutal tank that LeBlanc can't one-shot. None of the enemy team can one-shot, and you're just sitting there peeling your Ezreal and GP. Alright, I love that. So, most junglers, and I do talk a lot about this in terms of, I mean, if you want to create a really good, efficient jungle path around bot lane, it is best to go topside, Gromp Wolves. But the fact that Vi's starting drag and stuff like that, you actually do just need to be down here. So I love that you're adapting to what's going on in the game. Bot lane's pushing again, we can potentially re-gank them. You're very strong with TMA right now. So I do really like this, that you're ditching efficiency for map impact. You know that bot lane has no summoners. Come down here, excellent re-gank. Great. This is all really good gameplay from you right now. Take Dragon off that. There's no way they can contest even with a blunt coming up. She just doesn't have enough damage right now. She hasn't based yet. She's only got a Dark Seal. Great. You're just slaughtering them. So yeah, so definitely this is where Trundle's early game strength. And this is where Tiamat is doing well for you. But again, in the general, like, way this game's going to play out, I do still think, I mean, I think that could have still worked as well, you starting to get your Cinderhawk super early. So we do red buff. You are skipping your second Krugs, but I guess this is okay. I do like you to create an efficient jungle path around bot lane. You can come to your Krugs after you clear. I'll be clearing wolves. Actually, I'll do Rift Scuttler first. Always check Rift Scuttler first, especially since Vi was bot. Rift Scuttler, Blue, Gromp, Wolves, Base, go bot. Keep re-ganking these guys, no resummoners. This is actually an excellent win condition. Your Ezreal's 4-0-2 right now. I wouldn't be really wasting any time top. My GP is already far behind. Vlad's got to a point where he's literally ungankable right now. He will just be able to kite you super easily with his W and his E. That's what I want you to be doing right now. So you do scare off the Vlad. Okay, so 4 is bot. Rift Herald, great call. This is really good decisiveness from you. Even though Vlad's super fed, like, there's 4 bot, this Vlad's not going to ditch his wave to try and kill a Trundle on Rift Herald. But I do really want you to, again, still be looking to keep pressuring bot. So you're actually also going into jungle here. So this may be a little risky. Actually, LeBlanc is bot, so you are actually basically in a 1 versus 1. Vlad can come to help you. Potentially risky here, but you do have the blast cone. Oh, that was tricky. Really good pillar. Wow, that was really good mechanics. Vlad's still in lane. Excellent. All right. Come to gank Vlad now. Okay, this is actually a time where I think you can gank Vlad. You're already here, you might as well. But again, in general sense of things, I don't want you to top. So this is actually a really good early game from you. I mean, there's nothing really I can say you've done wrong. So yeah, definitely a really good early start. 3-0-4 right now. You get your Cinderhulk. I potentially would have waited in base for 2 control wards. I think, again, the pressure of getting 2 control wards right now to be, like, again, pressuring bot lane. This is your win condition. They kill a ward, you replace a control ward. So be looking to either control ward this brush here, get a deep one potentially, or control ward here. I actually think you really do want a deep one here. So you know when Vi's coming, you know when LeBlanc, because the thing is LeBlanc could be actually pushing this in and rotating roams down. So you actually need to really be careful of LeBlanc. She's pretty good at roaming. And actually, based on that, I want you to actually control ward here. If you can make sure you know where LeBlanc is, and then you keep diving bot, that's going to be great for you. So going bot for Krugs now. This is good. This is your second Krugs. I mean, you're doing very well in levels right now. You're doing very well for farming. Your ganks have been all pretty impactful. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Where is LeBlanc? Be patient. Wait for her to show on the wave now. Here comes LeBlanc, and you're going for a dive at the worst possible time. So this is a really big throw. I can't, like, right now, like, game's over. You needed to have a perfect early game as Trundle, and you were close to it. Because now, again, like, you haven't got the tank stats. It's going to be very long for you to start getting tank stats now because you've built Tiamat. You've just given away double buffs. Now your momentum's all ruined as well. Dragon's coming up soon. Like, this is not ideal. You have no control of River anymore. Like, you were really the carry of this game. Even if you still built tank, you still could have been the carry of this game. So you lose a lot of momentum there. You are going bot and ditching topside here, so not ideal, but you do need to. Dragon is up soon. LeBlanc's just chunking you out. So yeah, this is where LeBlanc is very annoying. If I was actually top, you guys get Dragon. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, potentially a pretty big waste on E there. So you do really need to think about Trundle Pillar. Like, you're sort of in a situation right now. Oh, did you have to use Rift Herald there? Let's actually look at the time on Rift Herald. Can I actually see the timer? Like, this is not an ideal Rift at all. Ideally, I mean, the great thing about Rift Herald is you wanted to break this tower with it. So that, again, that death as well, you actually have Rift Herald as well down there. If you were super patient before, you could have actually broken this tower by now. If LeBlanc came bot, you just backed off, waited for it to go back mid. The center and Jhin is so far behind, you could have easily gone for a dive on this. As long as you knew where LeBlanc was, this tower would have been broken. You would actually be looking at... Actually, I do still want you to get Dragon. I want you to have 4th Dragon win condition. But going back to that dive, just how much that has actually stuffed you up here. So you're sort of forced to use Rift Herald right now. And this is... I mean, this is sort of the melee champs that you're playing. And it is very difficult. So yeah, this is where it's starting to become a problem. LeBlanc's very fed. So I mean, that's even showing the champion differentiation this game, is they literally were able to 3 versus 4 you. But part of that was you did sort of waste your pillar. And now you actually just not, you can't even do Dragon. So Oh, I actually would have stayed around here. I think it was actually much more important for you to do like your Raptors and keep going bot again. Like they're actually pretty low and everyone's coming back on base. Do Dragon. Again, I don't want you to be top at all here. Like this is not, you're going to get no objectives of this. You might get some kills, but Vlad is just so like strong right now. So I'm going to note this down. 13 minutes. Needed to go bot after Raptors. You need to get that bot tower. Need bot tower. I mean, they are killing them bots, so maybe they'll get it organically here. But you see, this is, again, Vlad's just going to be able to 1v2. You do kill Vi. Oh, that was not a good pillar as well, I think. Yeah, you see, this is where Vlad just counters you really hard. And you die there. Okay, and they actually get Dragon from this now. So yeah, this is the point where I think that I'll look at it in the next couple of minutes, see what happens. I mean, I'm looking at this thing right here. It's like you guys just can't win a single fight anymore. So you do go bot. Really good flush there. Here comes Vi. You see, and you see how squishy you are against these three champs. Again, going back to your tenacity and forcing to build Merc Treads versus Ninja Tubs, like you potentially would have survived there. And you just need some armor. I mean, again, you would have survived if you were building tank stats as well. And this is, again, sort of highlight, like, sure, bot's your win condition, but these are 3 AD champs, and you're walking in there with no armor, you know, and with a Tiamat. So, yeah, we actually didn't break this tower. This tower had to be gone for you to be potentially, even had a potential to win this game. So, you're going bot again. They see you on the ward, they back off. Vlad is literally just 1v2 in right now. Do kill him. Alright, potentially can maybe do a Rift Herald. Oh, okay, no, Vi just got Rift Herald. Unfortunate timing. They use Rift Herald. Oh, if they break mid here, this is not ideal. Yep, we can defend it. This is good. Okay, so yeah, you guys are really struggling in these team fights. I mean, you just died there. So I think this is where I'm going to call a review. There's just no way you can get back into this game. You've died 4 times now as Trundle, despite having a good early game. Ezreal's not doing good CS. He's died 4 times now. You basically have no win condition. These guys super hard out team fight you. There's nothing you can do, unfortunately. So the biggest thing to learn here is more like 2 things. When to not pick Trundle, and also how important item builds are and building correctly. Again, I'm happy to talk about Trundle builds. I think he has lots of versatility. You can even build Redemption if you have some healing shield champions in your team to get that extra and stuff. And also, actually, I do like the Bone Plating and Revitalize as well as a secondary tree for Trundle. So this is going to be this review. You can check out my full notes over on my blog, nathanmott.gg. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next review.